I went on a road trip to the seaside. 3 hours one way. For those living in England, this is a very, very long journey. But the journey was exactly what added to the overall enjoyment of the day. Driving through the narrow countryside roads, instead of sensory overload that is a motorway full of cars and noises. Observing nature and noticing how the landscapes change, very subtly but visibly to those with a keen eye. Vast farmlands turn into lush oak woodlands, blending into forests of evergreens until finally entering a chalk grassland full of thistles and fireweeds. Sometimes feelings overtake me so deeply that all I can do is stand there in awe, staring at the deep blue horizon, letting strong summer winds sweep me away. I give in to my emotions without a second thought. I learned to do it only recently when I stopped frantically searching for a way to fix myself, or to feel less, man up, as they say. Every detail of life moves me deeply and irrevocably, and it's okay. I would not, under any circumstance, wish to miss the intensity of life, the intensity of joy experienced from the simplest of things, where every journey turns into an adventure, where every breath of salty sea air smells like the most wonderful perfume, where every simple moment in life is filled with wondrous curiosity. The beauty we see and experience so deeply in places where many would go past without paying any attention. Or, just the same, the intensity of sorrow which we, the highly sensitive human beings, the empaths, feel so deeply as our own, able to empathize and feel for the world around us. I was a highly sensitive person for as long as I can remember. Only back then I didn't know how to understand and navigate the whirlwind of feelings. Instead of tapping into my nature, I learned to mask it, create a wrongful image of an outgoing, high-energy self only to hide the most vulnerable inner core. I was an outspoken extrovert by day, turning into a quiet and shy person by night. Living in my own little world, losing myself in books, crying myself to sleep after being too touched by a deeply moving story. Art, crafts, and music filled my soul with magic. I collected flowers and dried them between pages of favorite old books, something I do to this day. It's as if instead of flowers I pressed memories which I held on to so carefully through the years. I was always a bit naive, easy to fool, not very good at understanding jokes and sarcasm which others seemed to laugh at so easily. Everyone's pains and emotions felt like my own, and even though I was not able to understand it, I was always able to feel it. People love to give the well-meaning advice, saying, you need to toughen up, grow a thick skin, or stop being so sensitive. And that's what makes us, the highly sensitive people, good targets to their advice. We react easily and enter the intense whirlwind of self-doubt, questioning our every move. Toughen up I did, creating an exterior shell that was so hard to break, it made me believe that I actually changed my nature. What I did not see back then is that sensitivity is a trait, not a flaw. You have so many layers, and through your life you developed the tougher shell which, once peeled off, will expose a tender and wondrous core. That inner core is made out of your vulnerability, which is often seen as weakness, but Instead, it's precisely what makes a highly sensitive person beautiful. Perhaps the most important thing is to trust yourself, accept who you are, set boundaries, know your own needs, and learn to navigate the world based on your own ideas rather than ideas of those who try to squeeze you into a one-fits-all template that is practical, easily shaped and understood. It's about making sensitivity your strength. After all, as much as it can shake us, it can help us make our lives and lives of those around us so intensely vibrant. Sometimes the bravest and toughest thing you can do is face yourself head-on and be truthful about your feelings. By facing our own emotions, we can learn how to respond to our own heaviness and sadness, process it in a healthier way instead of simply suppressing it. So I will keep sharing my thoughts, not for my personal satisfaction, but to provoke deep conversations and real feelings. Our feelings are never wrong or inconvenient or flawed. I go out on a long walk in nature, talking to plants and animals I meet on the way, breathing in the sweet nectar of a warm summer day, staring endlessly at the light shining through the delicate flower petals, exposing their wispy, fragile structure. Sometimes the sights I see are so beautiful they make me cry. I cry very easily and a lot, in fact, but it's not because I'm always sad, but rather because I can't always contain the outburst of emotions. I cried during sunset, or watching couples dance, or watching silly movies, not necessarily most stimulating ones, but the ones with happy endings. I cry a lot of tears of joy as well as tears of sadness. I know that I'm not faulty or weird or weak. I don't need to be fixed or toughened up. And I let myself be overtaken, carried by this blustery summer wind as far as it pleases, opening my mind and exposing my heart.